Yo, what's up, guys? Joker bringing you another video for Path of Exile 2. This time going over my current Atlas strategy is what I guess you can call it. It's going to seem really obvious and potentially stupid for me to even bring up, but I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys anyways because it has been very rewarding, and some things that may be obvious to some people may not be obvious to others, right? So this strategy helps me pull out maps that look like this, right? Where it has a huge amount of extra monsters, it has a breach, it has an expedition, it has an essence, it has +2 monster level, it has a little bit of increased pack size, and then it has massive rarity of items, and then it has massive increased waystones found as well. I cleared most of the map. I've actually completed the map, but I still have this breach over here and this expedition, which you kind of always want to leave for last because they can be rippy sometimes. But let's go ahead and take a look at the strategy before I run that breach and expedition, right? This is what we essentially pulled out of the map so far. Somehow there was a shit ton of essence in this one map. There was like 5 essence mobs, and that's kind of crazy. But then we got a couple of waystones, we got a chaos orb, and we got a jewel, right? These are mine, I believe. These three are mine. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the atlas. So as you can see, you'll have some sweet spots in your atlas where there will be multiple lost towers really packed together, right? And essentially what you do is you just take the shortest route through the most convenient nodes. What I mean by that is you use these dead nodes. Well, that's actually not a node because just how much this area has been juiced, but you would use nodes potentially like this, right? Where it would be theoretically empty, there'd be nothing in there. You would throw a low tier map in there and you'd make your way to the lost towers. In the lost towers, you would go ahead and once again throw in a low tier map because it doesn't matter the tier of the map that you're using to travel or the tier of the map that you use in the lost tower. It still accomplishes the same purpose, right? So you can waste a T14 map in a lost tower, or you can use a T2 map and just run straight through the end of it. The reason why you want to make your way between tightly packed lost towers is they allow you to use these items. The tablets, right? You should potentially have a large amount of precursor tablets just from naturally mapping, and they impact such a large area that you really get usually the full effect, right? Where it says 9 maps in the range will be irradiated. Once you put it in here, you usually always get at least 9 maps worth. And then that's what ends up with you getting nodes like this, where this has a boss, it has expedition, it has beyond, it has whatever the yellow thingy is that I don't even remember, right? So it has a whole bunch of modifiers, and then it's going to stack on top of the map that I put inside of it, right? Just giving me an insane amount of loot and bonuses. And that's essentially the full strategy. Once again, I know it seems rather obvious, but what you do once again is you path through lost towers using your lowest tier maps, and then you farm the zones in between that were affected by your precursor and other tablets to juice the shit out of the maps. And then you make sure that your maps themselves have as many modifiers as possible. And that's how you're able to get full areas like this where it has multiple modifiers. I think over here is a better example, right? Where these nodes are just super juicy. All of these maps are going to be so good, right? And the only thing that I would try to do is I would try to path to this lost tower, hitting the smallest amount of these as possible. So where could I go right now? Right now I could go here, and then I would probably go. Fuck. I'd have to kill some juicers to get there, but then it would also allow me to path over here. Actually, this might be the play coming in from the back. Giggity. What we would do in this case is, yeah, these have much lower modifiers on them. So we would come up through here and make our way to this lost tower, and then we would make our way down from the back into this lost tower, and we would hit both of these, giving these additional modifiers, plus buffing up the nodes in here once again. I actually think I'm going to run that as the example real quick. I'm going to finish my current map and then show you how I would make my way down there. Okay, so I finished that map and then I was looking at the atlas once again, and this is actually perfect because I didn't even notice these two towers over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the strategy that I'm mentioning to super juice all of this, right? Some of these already have some effects from other zones hitting them, but you'll see the difference when we hit them with 4 additional towers. So we're not going to path through this steep, right? That's the one we're going to stack up a ton of mods on. So, like I was mentioning, for the strategy, you just find the shortest path. And you would want to throw in your lowest level map if you're having trouble sustaining. But if not, just go ahead and throw in whatever map you would like. I'm throwing in my 3 mod T14 maps because I'm having no problem sustaining. And Sandspit is actually a pretty good map. So I'm going to go ahead and make my way through these 3 towers and then show you the steep. Okay, and for this part, like I was mentioning, throw in whatever map that you feel comfortable essentially wasting, right? Lost Tower has a horrible layout and you really get nothing from it. So you throw in whatever map or you go and buy a T1 map if you're having that much trouble sustaining, and you just throw it in white. You don't alk it, you don't do anything to it. This is your fodder map. These are the same type of maps that you're normally going to be using pathing unless you are able to over sustain a significant amount. Then, like I'm doing, you can use like the T14 maps because there's really no loss. You just get overall more and better loot if you're pathing with the T14 maps. But essentially, what you would want to do, and what I did until I finished all of my missions, was I was throwing in my lowest tier maps while I was pathing. One more thing that I wanted to mention real quick, since I'm almost done setting the strategy up, is the fact that you can use crafting currencies on your precursor tablets. Some people may be unaware of this, so I figured I'd go ahead and point it out. Make sure that you hit your precursor tablets with a transmute and an aug 100% of the time. This is what our area is looking like so far. And some of these maps down here are kind of ridiculous with the list of additional shit that's currently on them. We have one more tower that we're going to make it to before the little showcase of how 2 more towers. I'm probably going to try to make it to this one too. Wait, let me see. No, I'm pathing through too many maps. If I go up here, I would have to burn through. 3 maps. Was that worth it? Maybe. I don't know. Still undecided. So we'll just go ahead and we'll path to this last tower and show you how juiced we can get this one steep, like I was mentioning. All right, we finally finished, and this is what our steep is looking like. It has 9% gold, 16% magic, monster, 25% normal, 6% for simulacrum splinters. Rare monsters have a 29% chance to have an additional modifier, 29% increased waystones, and 17% rarity of items, right? So from this point, what you do is you just get your highest tier map and you either elk it if it's a normal map or you just regal it if it is a magic map, right? Regal it to make sure that it's at least 3 modifiers, and then you're gonna be able to get all of these just stacking benefits, right? I'll go ahead and as soon as this map loads, I'll show you what the modifiers are looking like, right? So we got the 37% free quant, the 62% rarity, 170 waystones, right? And if we go ahead and take a look at our atlas, it's not like that only gave us one map, right? We have that map, we have this map, we have these other super juicy maps down here, which start to get increasingly nuttier the more that I look at some of them. Some of them actually look pretty stupid, right? Like this one's just super juiced with the amount of EXP I'd get from it. I think one of these, yeah, this one right here, 22% experience, 37% magic monsters, 56% rares, and it has deli on it. And it's a savannah. I just noticed that. That's a really good map. And then look, oh shit. That's a really good map too because it has the expedition on it. So there's several really good maps over there. And I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. As you can see, I have a ton of maps. So it, even though I had to waste what, like maybe an hour, hour and a half pathing through the towers, now I have several hours of maps that I'm able to run of super juiced content, right? Would it be better if it took less time? Yes, but look how close we are to other towers, right? This is just another 2 maps over here, and then we have what? 2 maps over there, and then it would be about 2 maps. Yeah, it would be 2 maps this way too. But then all of these would get super juiced by the 2 additional towers, and it already has 4 modifiers on it. So, but that's pretty much it. The base strategy that I've been running, once again, it's going to seem like common sense to some people, maybe not to others. I hope it helps. It's definitely worth doing because the amount of currency you pull out is like 10, 15 times because you're usually always getting areas that are 1 or 2 levels higher with a ton of additional mobs. So actually, you know what, real quick at the end of this video, I'll run this map and show you what I loot from it, right? Empty inventory. So we kind of need to talk about how absolutely stupid Breach is. Breach is like ridiculously good loot. I hope they don't nerf it, but you get an insane amount of stuff from this. Like I just hit a breach. I really should have recorded it. But you just get so much stuff. Like we're already up to 3x and we've made it through this much of the map, right? Okay, so real quick, I have to go back to town and I have to deposit all my loot into a tab. I got too much loot. I know that sounds insane in Path of Exile 2, but tab 17, right? That's going to be the tab we use to keep track of everything that we got this map. And it's kind of insane that we've already pulled 7x out of this map. All right, and that's pretty much where I call it, right? I get to under 50 monsters left remaining, and let us go ahead and take a look at everything that we got from it. So we ended up pulling out 8 raw exalts as well as a shit ton of catalyst from that one breach. That one breach was insane, right? Look at this. And then we got one, two, three, four, five. Oh, catalyst, catalyst, and so we got 6 waystones on top of 8x and an exalt, I mean 8x and an alchemy. And now what I go ahead and do is I identify all the items and then we look to see if there's anything promising because the crafting is fucking terrible. So you are honestly more likely going to find a good item off of the floor, especially if it has a tiered modifier associated with it. Let us go here. We identify the items: disenchant, crappy, crappy, mana. No, and no, yeah, no. And then the helmet. Okay. There we go. Oh, and we have this ring. Let's just manually identify this because I don't feel like walking back. A lot of mana. That's all it gives us. Wow, that sucks. But with prismatic rings, I save them because there is a 3-to-1 recipe I'll go over in like a crafting video where essentially you need bases because once again, the crafting system sucks ass. But yeah, if we go here, that was from one map. So was it worth it to spend like the hour and a half setting up the juiced maps? Yes, because I still have 20 some juiced maps to actually go through, right? And these maps over here are going to be just even crazier, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future content. I think I'm going to put out a video on vision crafting to kind of explain how it works and my opinion on it next. But yeah, that's it. So until next time, take care.